So she told me to come over and I took that trip. And then she pulled out my...
Hey guys, I'm JC Lives. Today we're explaining full body for dummies. Got that, buddy? Okay. Do you do full body? Do you do full body? Alright, get out of here. Go. Okay. So, first things first, I'm going to put timestamps down below for you guys if you guys just want to skip through and minus the yap. First thing I'm going to talk about, what is full body? Second thing, potential upsides. Third, how it works. And fourth, programming and how to do it. It's going to be a pretty simple video. I'm going to try to keep this under 15 minutes in total time. But yeah, let's get to this first topic. Okay, simply full body. The other common terms that's referred to would be full body every other day. So the idea of this split is if you've got Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, if you're doing full body every other day, you can do a full body day on Monday. You can rest on Tuesday, full body day Wednesday, rest, etc., etc. And then in your next week, it would be alternating, right? Because if you ended your Sunday on a working day, so your next Monday would be rest, check, rest, so on and so forth. Like that. Okay, now one of the reasons why the idea of this is good is because with your traditional splits that you see let's give out some really popular splits. So in a week, everybody's only got 7 days in a week, right? So with push-pull legs, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, you get push-pull, right? So push, pull, legs. Push can be defined as, I guess, chest, tricep, and then shoulder. Pull, bicep, back, forearm, legs. I'm not going to list all the legs, but legs. So if you're doing push-pull leg twice a week, you're going to end up with training each of these only 2 times a week with 1 rest day. And that's for push-pull legs. And this can be essentially the same for most other splits, like bro split. This is the same with, it wouldn't be exactly the same with upper lower, but upper lower would have a little bit like lower frequency rate. So with full body, one of the benefits you get is it's a super high frequency workout, meaning you get to train every muscle group 4 times a week as opposed to your traditional 2 times a week. So like, let's say if we stack that up over a full year, get out of my protein cup, cat. If we stack this up to a full year, I'm not going to do the math, but well, I mean, there's 52 weeks in a year, right? Times 2, that's 104, right? So you're going to be hitting everything twice. So 104, right, is your total number here. As opposed to 4 times, that is like literally this, times 2. That is 208. You'll be training everything 2 times more than your other traditional splits. And this is going to lead me into my next talking point. But yeah, ultimately, this is what full body is. You're training your full body every other day. And now let's get into topic number 2. Okay, so before I do continue the video and start fucking info dumping the shit out of this, I do want to preface with pertaining to working out. Ultimately, I would not proclaim that there is a so-called most optimal split. I don't necessarily think that it exists to a certain extent. I don't want to speak in absolutes, but ultimately, whatever is the most optimal is whatever one you can stick to for the longest period of time and be consistent with. At a baseline, as long as you're hitting every muscle group at a minimum of 2 times a week with proper training and proper intensity, you will see improvements in the gym. So I just want to put that out there before I talk about this. I am not preaching that this is the only split you should do, nor am I preaching that this is the best split you do. This is just the current split I'm doing, and this is currently like a buzz split. Like, it's really popular right now. Lots of people seem to be doing it. Lots of people disagree with it. Lots of people agree with it. And I'm just here to kind of explain what I know to the best of my knowledge. I'm not a kinesiology major. I'm not a pro. Realistically, I'm not necessarily a certified person to talk about this. But what is it? What do people say? But I don't know. So now I'm not liable for any dumb things that happen. But our next talking topic are the potential upsides. This is going to be a shorter segment of the video because, I mean, there's only so many upsides I can talk about. We're not going to glaze full body too much. One of the potential upsides you get is since you're taking more rest days a week, you get to rest more. You get 3 to 4 rest days a week. That's pretty high. That's pretty good. Somebody like me who I work a construction job, I need my rest. Like I do manual labor all day. Having a night off is perfect for me. Not only during that, like during my nights off, I can edit content, push out content for you guys. So it works out better for me. Is everybody going to want to do that? Probably not. I know lots of people have a hard time not going to the gym as many days of the week they can. That's not to say you can't have active rest days and go hit cardio on your rest day or something. You can do that, but this would just be one of the potential upsides to doing this split. Another potential upside would be you get to train, as opposed to, let's say if you're doing push-pull legs, your favorite day is push. You hit push, right? You hit push, then you don't get to hit your favorite day for 2 more days. If you're doing full body every other day, you can hit your favorite group literally every time you're at the gym. So we'll write that down. Favorite group every time. Pardon my terrible writing. You guys are just going to have to deal with that. Another potential upside with this, another thing, I've noticed that there is the meme of skipping leg day. Not to be that guy, guys, but it's a joke. Don't actually skip leg day. That's a good thing with full body. It will force you to doing leg day. You get to hit legs 4 times a week. You're doing full body, so you're hitting legs every time you're there. Yeah, and honestly, I'd say that though, let's just put training legs, because that seems to be a hard thing for people to do. I'd say these are the 3 potential upsides, other than the next topic I'm going to get in. I want to give you guys information overload, but yeah, I'd say that those are our 3 greatest potential upsides, outside of talking about motor recruitment and fatigue and et cetera, and so forth. So yeah. Really quick, as I was erasing this, I remembered another potential upside. You're training your muscles more frequently than you would on other splits, 4 times a week. Yeah, 4 times a week versus 2 or 3 times a week. It's pretty good. All right, that's it. That's it for potential upsides. Okay, this next part of the video is probably going to be one of the longer parts of the video, because right now I'm going to be explaining how full body works and why it works. So let's say the basis of full body is we're training, as opposed to doing volume, we're going to up the frequency, right? Is that it, buddy? Okay, we're going to up the frequency, right? We're going to up the frequency as opposed to upping our volume, right? And then this is going to branch later into fatigue management. Frequency and volume, that is like one of the key players in making your full body split work properly. The other working gear in the cog in the system here is going to be the other cog in the system here is going to be the idea of higher weights, low rep, and low sets, right? These two, or I guess these three, are your three main working points you want to work around in your full body workout. So first thing we're going to talk about now, frequency and volume. So frequency is obviously what we talked about. So with push-pull legs, you'd have less frequency because you're training less in a week than you would with this split, 4. So, right, obviously, 2 times a week versus 4 times a week. I mean, here's our winner, 4 times. That is higher frequency. But since we're training in higher frequency, you can't train with as much volume that you would have with, let's say, push-pull legs. So let's say for push-pull legs, for whatever reason you're hammering your back for like 3 different sets with higher rep ranges. And now you're at that point of seeing diminishing returns. But with full body, we're trying to optimize the diminishing returns part. So we're not venturing into that whatsoever. And we're just hitting whatever the optimal amount of reps is to recruit more motor units, right? So since you're having higher frequency over higher volume, your recovery time is typically going to be higher with a higher frequency split because you're also resting more as opposed to your high volume push-pull leg split. And the reason we're able to achieve this style of training is with the ideology of higher weights and lower reps. So let's say we've got guy number 1 here, and let's call this guy Tim. And then now we've got guy number 2, and we'll call this guy Till, because that's a normal name that you guys hear all the time. So Tim over here, he loves his push-pull legs. Nothing wrong with push-pull legs, right? But Till over here, he likes his full. Oh no, don't do that, cat. Till likes his full body every other day, right? So with the way Tim's workout is structured, regardless of even like, let's say his workout's just structured with higher volume, right? So he's hitting, let's just say he's hitting his chest on 3 movements with high reps, right? So for example, on his chest, he's doing bench press, incline dumbbell press, and pec flies. And he's hitting 3 of those. He's doing 3 sets per exercise within the 4 to 6 rep range, right? And what's going to happen with Tim is, let's fast forward like literally 4 weeks, his CNS, standing for central nervous system, is going to be overloaded. So now he's going to have to take a deload week as a result of the poor programming, by assuming that he could recover from this and just keep working out, but he can't, right? So now with CNS overload, he's going to take 4 deload days, right? But now with Till, with what Till's been doing, he's got lower weight, right? Higher frequency, right? And let's say on his full body day, he's starting off with his first chest movement. He's just doing machine bench press. He's doing 1 set, and he's doing 3 to 5 reps. Or if you don't want to lock that into a rep range, he's working with a certain amount of rear, standing for reps in reserve, right? So he's working to 0 to 2 reps in reserve. Now what this is doing is, since it's a heavier weight will allow your brain to recruit more motor units. So in the act of recruiting more motor units is what allows you to build more muscle, right? So as opposed to push-pull legs over here, let's say he's doing 12 reps in a set. If you guys don't know, muscle is mostly only built in the last few reps where you're really struggling to get out the rep, right? So with what Tim's doing on those, let's say first 8 to 9 reps, they're kind of easy breezy. He's got good form and he's going through it and he's feeling that stretch, right? And he's fatiguing himself. So the last 3 reps are a struggle. So it's in these last 3 reps that he recruited the most motor units. So that's where he's going to build the most muscle. But with how Till has programmed his workout is so in those last 3 reps that he's doing, well, I say last 3 reps, but he's only doing 3 to 5 with 0 to 2 in reserve. The idea is the 3 reps that he is doing, they're all within close to failure. So he's trying to optimize how many motor units he can recruit without exhausting his CNS and causing himself external fatigue, which he doesn't need. That won't add up. So that's the idea. This is the higher weight, lower rep range allows you to manage your fatigue better over the long run. And that's not to say you cannot program your push-pull legs to be higher weight, low rep. You should. I don't think you should ever do anything with lower weight and higher reps. I think that's stupid. It does literally nothing. We are not toning the muscle. So yeah, just the biggest thing to remember when programming your workout is low rep range, preferably I'd say within 3 to 5, but there's nothing wrong with going up to 8. You're just accumulating more fatigue. Or what I usually do, I just train with the idea of 0 to 2 reps in reserve. Now that's not necessarily the easiest thing to do for new lifters because it can be kind of hard to gauge where your failing point is because you're not that used to your body yet. So if you're just trying this out, I would suggest maybe just trying to stick to your 3 to 5. And then this, now after we've explained this, we can go into our next talking topic, low sets. Now with what Tim's been doing, he's doing 3 sets per muscle group. So he's doing 3 sets to hit his chest. There's no point in needing to do 3 sets to hit the chest. That's too much. There's no point in doing that. You're going to do more damage than you are going to do good. Well, not more damage than you're going to do good. It's just you're not as optimized as you could be. But then with Till, he's just doing 1 set because you only need 1 set to grow muscle, right? Where you recruit the most motor units in the your last 2 reps, your last 2 to 3 reps when you're about to fail. That's when it matters the most, right? So we're only going to be training within that zone for low sets. And then that low sets is what allows us to hit every muscle group, as in your back, your arms, your shoulders, your triceps, your forearms, your legs, all of that. You can hit all that in one day and you can aim for 1 to 2 sets per muscle group. And that depends on you. That depends on what your body can recover from because everybody's different. I hate seeing that question online. Insert like, let's say TNF or Elijah Mundy. How many sets should I do? How do what do I recover from? And the only answer to that is they don't know. Why would they know? It's not their body. They're not gonna they don't understand how fast your body recovers. Only you understand that, and you need to optimize that yourself. Okay. Now that I feel like we've explained what full body is and whatnot to at least a surface level understanding. Again, I'm not a professional. I do not take kinesiology. Take everything I say with a grain of salt. I am not an end all be all, and nobody is the end all be all because nobody knows everything. Okay. And again, honestly, for 90% of people, like before you start worrying about optimizing your split, like worry about like optimizing your diet, optimizing just getting to the gym. Those are the most important things. But yeah, so now what we're going to talk about is programming and now how to program your full body day and how I've programmed mine. You know what? Before I talk about that, it'd probably be smart to touch on these science buzzwords that people just love to throw around. Now, these science buzzwords, one is going to be time under tension. I'm going to shorten that for TUT. Another one is going to be motor units, so on and so forth. I'm going to write these all down, and then I'm going to surface level explain each of these like I'm talking to a 3rd grader, to you guys. Okay, there's really only one more, but I was blanking on it. So first one that we're going to explain, time under tension. What's time under tension? It's exactly what it freaking sounds like. It is the amount of time a muscle is under tension. Right? Pretty easy concept to understand. This is not the main driver of hypertrophy. But yes, time under tension is the amount of time a muscle is under tension, right? So the amount of time on the clock that, let's say, buddy's arm is holding the dumbbell for and moving the weight, right? That's what our time under tension is. Okay, number two, one we're going to talk about is motor units, right? What even is a freaking motor unit? Well, your motor unit is comprised of one motor neuron, and that motor neuron is what controls the muscle fibers, right? So the whole idea of this split is you're trying to recruit as many motor units as possible. And the only way to recruit as many motor units as possible is mechanical tension. And mechanical tension is the more weight you apply to your muscle, causing your brain to need to use or recruit more motor units to move that weight, right? And so a motor unit is exactly what this is. That's it. Pretty dumbed down and explained without getting too crazy into it. And then we already kind of just talked about our second one. What even is mechanical tension? Mechanical tension is the amount of weight that you are stimulating your muscle with, right? So you want your mechanical tension throughout your workout to be as high as possible, right? You want to move as much weight as you can without regressing in your form and still doing a reasonable amount of reps, right? Like, I don't want to see people going around doing or start preaching like, I do one set bench, I do one set, one rep bench, one set, one rep, insert, random thing. That's don't do that. Aim for like one set with at least like 2 to 3 reps. But yeah, these are just 3 of the buzzwords in the scene that I felt I should touch on before I talk about the next subject. Okay, if you're still here in the video, use her a kiss, because like, good for you, good boy or girl, I don't know. I'm sorry. Let's get to this next part. Okay, last part of the video. It's gonna be shorter than the last one. Let's how we're gonna program this. Now, ideally for starting out, one baseline, I'd say aim for 20 to 30 total sets, right? So that entails like your total amount of sets for everything and everything, right? So like, let's say chest is 1 set, triceps is 1 set, etc., etc. Aim for 20 to 30. I'd start with 20 and try to work your way up to 30 by figuring out how much you can take while your body's still recovering and managing your fatigue properly. Now, for your chest, I would focus on, obviously, just do 1 pressing movement for your chest. For your tricep as well, I would just work on 1 overhead movement for your chest. For your triceps, for your legs specifically, make sure you always do at least 1 leg extension. You have to include leg extension. That is the only way to train a certain muscle that connects from your hip all the way down to the end of your femur bone. So that's why you're going to want to do leg extension. But yeah, so aim for 20 to 30 total sets. And in those 20 to 30 sets, we're always going to be aiming for 0 to 2 reps in reserve, like we talked about earlier, or a 3. Let's just bump that up to 8, because it, like, honestly, it is a pretty wide rep range that you can. Oh, now you're here. That you can have, right? So 3 to 8. Like, that's really all it takes to how to program the workout. One thing I would note is, from the start of the workout, you're going to have a lot more energy at the start than you are at the end. It's a pretty long workout because you are hitting every muscle group. Like, that's like there's around 6 pieces beyond the top, 6 pieces beyond the bottom. That's quite a bit, right? So I would worry about whatever you find is lacking most in your physique is what you're going to want to start with, right? So for me personally, the thing that I'm worried about most right now is my chest and my shoulders. So I do chest and shoulders first, just because those are the ones I want to use the most energy for. So that's why I do like that. It can be different for everybody else. I do recommend doing alternating days so you're not doing the same movement every day. Like for example, my full body split, which I will be including in the link below. In my full body split, I do machine bench press on, like, let's say full body day 1, and then full body day 2 I do incline Smith, and then once a month I do my normal bench press just to gauge where my strength is at. Another extremely important factor that you need to program into this is the idea of progressively overloading. Progressive, I know I am spelling this wrong. I'm so sorry. Okay. Progressive overload, right? So the idea of progressive overload is, let's say you did freaking 4 reps of insert weight last week, right? So let's call this last week. Now we're on current week. You're either going to want to do 5 reps of this, or you're going to want to do higher weight of this, right? In some way or another, you need to be showing your muscles that we're not going to plateau at this weight. We need to keep increasing our muscle, and we need to keep recruiting more motor units and keep getting stronger, because strength will at some point obviously indicate size, right? Like, you're not going to be picking up 400 pounds and being a twerp. It's not really how that works. All in all, that is pretty much how you would program this. So 20 to 30 total sets. Always aim for 0 to 2 reps in reserve, or within a 3 to 8 rep range. Progressively overload every week, and make sure you're hitting alternating days, so it's not the same every week. And then hit all your muscle groups. Organize it in size from what you're lacking and what you need the most to what you feel you don't need to train as much anymore. That's gonna be it from me. That was an alright video, I'd say. Again, not a pro. I don't know everything. If I got anything wrong or anything other you want to add in the comments, please add it in the comments. The more information out there, the better. But ultimately, do whatever split you enjoy. Just get to the gym, get your diet in check, get your sleep in check. You'll see progress. Other than that, I'll see you guys in the next video.